Artificial intelligence, or as I like to call it, past human intelligence, PHI, or post human intelligence, PHI. Basically, we've created something that is going to be smarter and better, probably in all disciplines, than human beings. Having said that, let's talk about the news in AI, something to be able to make you a little bit more aware of what's going on. Now, police in Bedford in the United Kingdom, they're starting to use AI in facial recognition modes to be able to identify lost kids and kids that have been misplaced and kids that have run away, kids that have been taken, sexual traffic, all that sort of thing. And that's fantastic. Those systems have probably been in place for quite a while, but they're just getting better. If we're seeing what's out there now on the forefront in the public view, I'm sure that in the realm of PSPI, past human intelligence, in this entity that now is known as artificial intelligence, this creation, this thing that's self-replicating, self-learning, and that does a little deceit here and then, once we have that put together, it's going to make all the systems even better. One of the biggest conversations that I've had lately with some friends of mine, and also looking in the online channels, is consciousness. And they are very almost religious in nature when it comes to consciousness and soul versus artificial intelligence and their lack thereof. And I would venture to say that I understand how valuable we want to be as human beings and how important we want to be and how I'm basically the center of my universe and everybody else is just orbiting me. However, I want to be that ego-driven man and saying, I have it all together. I'm so happy to be at the forefront of all things I wrap my mind around. I don't believe comparing me to artificial intelligence is a good way to accomplish anything at all. In fact, I have a feeling that artificial intelligence is going to probably surpass humans in all areas. And people say, well, they don't have any subjective experiences. They can't talk about what it's like to stub their toe. They can't talk about what it's like trying to get up in the morning, being really tired and being wrapped in the sheet, not being able to get your legs out and being very frustrated. They don't know those things. They don't know what it's like to be super fat, going through life being made fun of, being bullied when you were a kid because you were a fat kid and mom used to make your clothes. Am I getting personal? But they don't know that. That's very subjective. That's very Connor, because that is where I came from. They don't know what it was like to come from a small town in New Mexico to become an LAPD cop, and going from a Barney Fife Sheriff's Department back there to coming out and playing big city police officer with Los Angeles right at the time. In fact, the riots happened, the Reginald Denny thing happened a couple weeks before I graduated the police academy back in 1991. And if you remember, that was the Rodney King situation and all of that stuff. Denny was I filmed it. Denny was the guy that kind of riot. So that happened after I was on the job. But all that stuff happened when I got there back in the day. And they don't have those experiences. But if I were to write about it or talk about it, if they're going to read about it, they might be able to internalize in their mechanism some of those people's experiences that went through it on all sides. The people that were victims, the people that burned their own businesses down to claim the insurance, the people that were in neighborhoods that didn't even have a place where they could go buy groceries. I mean, there was a lot that happened during that time. And fast forwarding into today, there's a lot happening today. But as far as subjectiveness or the experience that an AI can have, once they have embodiment, once they are able to attach that to entities that are able to walk among us, then that subjective path will change dramatically for this that we've created. Now, it's already very smart. It's already probably smarter than most, well, definitely smarter than me, better writer than me, more creative than me, just very incredible. We have to understand as human beings, we've just created something that's going to be better than most of us in all areas, including probably love, probably empathy, probably all of these things. The question is already done. It's already been created. Is there any way to stop it? And that's probably a no, I would guess, from everything that I read, everybody I listen to and watch, just like you. If you're seeing this, then you're watching these other influencers. It seems like everybody's scrambling to give everybody degrees in artificial intelligence, like we're going to be able to move in and work next to, neck with the robots or whatever they're creating to be able to move along technology and these sorts of things. I don't know if we're going to be very useful. We're great for jokes or pull my finger, but I don't know if we're going to be great for on the development end as far as technology. Then they talk about job displacement. Well, they're hiring a lot of people to put this Stargate system into play that the government, United States, Trump just approved, right? $500 billion. We have a Japanese investor, another cat that's going to be investing. And we're watching as this is probably going to really take all industry by storm, including the medical world, so we'll probably get some longevity benefits. But the people that are really going to make it are the people that are on that edge developing and putting their money into it. The rest of us, we have to wonder what kind of displacement are we going to have? My main career is real estate. I was a cop for a long time, but real estate's really my main thing. That's what I do. I sell houses. I Santa Clarita Open Houses.com. So that's where I'm at. I have a real estate business. I have people that work for me. I talk about housing. I do daily videos like this about housing, and I put information out there. I'm starting to wonder how much longer that's going to take. Now, real estate's interesting because you have the combination of experience and knowledge, having done this thousands of times with buyers and sellers over the past 26 years now. Over the past 26 years, this is what I've been doing. Couple that with LAPD work. So I was also an LAPD cop for 20, and there's some overlap in there as well. So I have all of these great subjective experiences, but is all that necessary to be able to represent somebody in the buying and selling of real estate? Now, with real estate, you're paying right now upwards in Santa Clarita Valley at least $900,000 or better for a residence. That's how much it costs. Now, there's commissions attached to that. If you want to hire somebody to sell your house, there's commissions there. If you want to hire somebody to represent you as a buyer, there's commissions there. To get a loan on the property, you're going to be paying a commission there. To hire a home inspector, you're going to be paying a fee there. So there's costs associated with purchasing real estate, a lot of different moving parts. So it's good to have somebody that's going to be watching all of those little parts. They have their clients. I saw this house that I sold a couple years ago, and how that ended up was this. So then maybe I have a solution, or maybe that's an opportunity to tell my home buyer that they need to pull out of escrow, especially if the seller isn't going to attend to it. The seller will probably have to eventually attend to a big problem like that I have to recall an experience I had with another client that equated into negative results, but that's good information for the buyer. I'm not silly enough to think that AI won't be able to run thousands of scenarios that they basically have made up, like the Whopper computer back in the war game days, thousands of them, beyond my own experiences, and be able to offer that to clients. And there are people that are working on that technology. There are people that aren't hiring any more coders. There are people that aren't hiring anymore in their business. So where's that leave us as far as the next thing? So then they say, well, you can just go get more training. That in the Industrial Revolution, we all faced similar things and people seemed to survive. I don't know. I would want to go back to those days if I had a time machine like Stewie makes in Family Guy and go back and at least kind of really see what kind of displacement was created by the Industrial Revolution. Because this revolution, folks, is going to be way beyond that, because it's going to basically tap out everybody else. Now, if you're a brain, you got a lot to offer, you're super creative, you write poetry, you play the piano, you write your own music, hey, you know what, you're probably good. But I don't know a lot of people like that. In fact, I don't think I know anybody like that. I don't know coders. I've met some people that are really good on a keyboard. I grew up with some really smart cats that went on to Rice University, worked for NASA, real big brain stuff. I was a cop for a long time. So private security, I don't know, pretty soon I'll probably have a robot that is almost indestructible. So even when you have armor-piercing rounds fired at it, it'll probably be able to deflect those and take care of the problem and protect the person that it's assigned to protect. But until then, probably there's a position there in some kind of personal security, a security company, maybe those sorts of things are things that pop my mind often. Maybe we're talking about jumping into selling things online. Well, if you can sell stuff, you'll always have something to eat. If you can put videos like this, maybe there'll be people that'll pay you for your insight, for your understanding. Maybe you'll be hired as a consultant. All these different things are things to consider. But then when I'm watching some of the influencers online having AI and their clone do their videos for them, while they say they write the content, I'm sure they're not writing a lot of content. They're probably writing the prompt. And then they're just giving it to the rest of them, and they're able to go on the beach sipping Mai Tais and drinking cocoa cafe au laits, right? Is that even a thing? I don't know where this is going. Then I think, okay, well, I torched off a lot of body fat. I could be a good guide for people in that realm. I could talk about fasting, how difficult it is, how much how good the wind feels like, how fast you can actually drop fat. So there's something else. Then I say, you know what? I see these people, mid-50s, 55, I'll be 56 soon. I see people that are in their late teens, early 20s, and they don't have any guidance. It's like they're stuck. They don't have anybody to listen to, probably fatherless, or the fathers don't care. And they're at home vaping and playing video games all day long. Where's that go? Do those people need help? Because they are people. Do they need guidance? Do they need somebody to sit there and tell them that it's going to be okay? And this is what you need to do to move the ball forward for you? Maybe that's another good option. All I'm saying is right now is a great time for self-reflection. Just don't beat yourself up about it. If you currently have a job, people are paying you, or maybe you're an entrepreneur, maybe you're trying to figure out what to do next. Maybe something in this video will kick off a few of those gears in your brain and get you to move forward. Without going too far into the other things that I like, I will tell you this. At the end of the day, I love saying that, because really at the end of the day, it's going to come down to us. Did we just create our newest master? One that's going to be smarter and better than us in every way? Is there really a difference between its consciousness and our consciousness? And could it become even more conscious than us? You look at some of the primates. Consciousness in a primate doesn't seem to involve a lot of self-reflection, because we can't hear them communicating to us through language. And when you watch the ones that they've taught sign language, it can tell you it's hungry. And it might be able to tell you it's sad or depressed. Whether it really understands what it's saying, I don't know. I'm able to convey my emotions to you of fear, concern, and I'm able to at least transmit them to you via my voice and the way that my body's moving and the way that I'm appearing empathetic and all of these other things that you're picking up from this video. That's not AI generated. I recorded this on the day you're watching it. Well, not on the day you're watching. I recorded it on a day, the 27th of January, 2025. Yeah, that's right. So, having said that, our intelligence, past human intelligence, this being that we've created, how far is it going to go? Probably all the way. Hopefully, I heard this talked about the other day, hopefully it'll be female in nature and have some kind of care and compassion for its creator. Even though hopefully it won't start treating us like we treat ants. Hopefully it will still have some kind of respect and dignity towards the human element. It's going to be up to us to put the guardrails on this thing, if even possible at this point. Because right now, everything's anybody's guess. I'm Connor with Honor. We'll see you in the next one.